All right, I want to take you on a journey. We're going back about 1,000 years to ancient Karnataka in India for this incredible fable about a man, a goddess, and a lake. Now, this isn't just some old story. It's a powerful tale about how one man's vision and his sacrifice ended up saving an entire kingdom. And in the process, it tells us something really profound about our own connection to the natural world.
So, this is really the question at the heart of it all. Our hero, a guy named Mara, is basically called a lunatic by, well, pretty much everyone. But what if that so-called madness is actually something else entirely? What if it's a divine vision that holds the only key to his kingdom's survival? It's a heck of a premise, right?
You have to understand that for this story to work, you need to get this core belief. Nature itself is divine. We're not just talking about a piece of land or a river. This is the sacred home of a goddess. And Mara, he truly believes he's her chosen messenger, and he's been given this sacred duty to protect her.
Okay, so here's where our story really kicks off. We meet Mara, this total outcast, who has a vision so powerful that he is willing to put up with ridicule, with being thrown in jail, with all kinds of scorn, all because nobody else believes a word he says. And right here, you see the central conflict laid bare. To the village headman, the guy in charge, Mara is just a nuisance, a fool who needs to be silenced. But in Mara's own mind, he's a visionary. He's a messenger with a sacred mission. So his first huge obstacle is just trying to overcome the total disbelief of his own community. Wow. I mean, can you even imagine hearing that from a leader in your town? The headman's words are they're brutal. So the very first sacrifice Mara has to make isn't about giving up something physical. It's his reputation, his dignity, his social standing. He's being told flat out that he is worthless. And yet, despite all that scorn, Mara's faith is just unshakable. He holds on to his vision, absolutely convinced that the goddess chose him for a reason. And he believes the king, the highest authority in the entire land, will see the truth where everyone else just sees madness. And this is the price he pays for that conviction. It's his freedom. Just for daring to speak his truth, he's treated like a common criminal, tied up, silenced, and locked away in a cellar. He's literally sacrificing his liberty for a vision that only he can see.
But you know what? Being in prison doesn't stop Mara, not even close. In fact, it just sets the stage for his most daring move yet. A pretty desperate plan to get his message to the one person who might, just might, actually listen.
I mean, just look at this plan. These are not the actions of a crazy person. This is a deeply committed, strategic hero. He actually persuades his jailer to let him go, he finds the perfect hiding spot, and then he takes this massive, massive risk to intercept the king. Every single step here is deliberate and full of purpose. So why risk everything? For this, the river Veda. You have to get how important this is. It's called the lifeblood of the kingdom. It flows from this mythical, magical mountain. But here's the problem. This gift is fragile. Every summer, it just vanishes. It runs dry, threatening everyone with a devastating drought.
And here it is. This is the divine command at the absolute heart of the story. And when you think about it, it's basically a message of environmental conservation. The goddess isn't asking for a fancy temple or a gold statue. She is demanding a tank, a reservoir. She says, give her a home. It's about protecting the river and managing this precious natural resource for the good of everybody. And then, against all odds, it works. The most powerful man in the kingdom looks past Mara's torn clothes, his reputation as a madman, and he actually hears the wisdom in the message. This single moment of belief, right here, validates every single sacrifice Mara has made and completely changes the future of his kingdom.
And just like that, the dream becomes a reality. So, let's fast forward a few years. Mara's role has totally transformed. He's gone from being this scorned visionary to the official guardian of the new, life-saving lake.
So you can see the whole journey here, from a private dream that only one man could see to a public treasure that saved everyone. The king's decree made the vision real, and Mara himself is given the sacred duty of protecting the very gift he helped create.
And check out his job description, because these duties reveal Mara's true purpose. This is about so much more than just managing water levels. He is tasked with protecting the entire ecosystem, from the little fish and the birds to the huge tigers that come down to drink. He's preventing pollution, managing the resources. I mean, in today's terms, he is a true environmental steward.
But just when you think everything is settled and the story's over, it's not.
a new, terrifying threat appears. And this one doesn't come from mankind, but from the very goddess who commanded the lake into existence in the first place. The ultimate test of Mara's devotion is about to begin.
All of a sudden, the gift becomes a terrifying threat. A massive storm descends, and the river Veda, the lifeblood of the kingdom, it swells into this destructive, furious force. It threatens to break the banks of the lake and wipe out everything Mara has dedicated his entire life to protecting.
And this leads us to a completely impossible dilemma. The goddess herself, in this flash of divine anger, is determined to destroy her own creation. So what can one mortal man possibly do to protect his people from the wrath of his own deity? How do you even begin to solve that?
In this absolutely desperate moment, Mara uses his wits. He confronts the goddess, and he makes a deal. He begs her to hold back her fury, just until he can run to the king and then return. Now, on the surface, it sounds like he's just buying some time, but hidden inside this simple plea is a plan of ultimate and truly tragic sacrifice.
And this final, selfless act, this is what cements Mara's place in history. So let's take a look at the profound, permanent impact of his last decision.
After getting that promise from the goddess, Mara runs to the king and explains his brilliant, tragic plan. You see, he tells the king to end his life. He will never return to the lake, and that means the goddess will be bound by her promise to wait for him forever. He sacrifices his own life to save the kingdom, and his last wish? It's not for glory or riches. It's to make sure that the lake will always have a guardian from his family line for all generations to come.
And this is his final transformation. The man who was once dismissed as a lunatic is now immortalized. The community he saved builds a shrine, not to some distant, powerful god, but to him, the ordinary man, the rustic watchman who gave absolutely everything to protect them and their environment.
So, this ancient story leaves us with a very modern question, doesn't it? Mara's tale suggests that protecting what we value most, our communities, our natural world, sometimes requires an immense price. It really makes you stop and think, what are we willing to give to protect the things we cherish today?